Yo, YGG SEA fam, how are you doing? It's your host, Darshi. This week we have so many AMAs, and I'm so excited to bring what's going on in the community. I'm so glad that you guys are all here with me right now. This week we have a new group called One World Nation, and we have the co-founder Dinesh. Hey Dinesh, how
Hey,
you
hi,
doing?
Darshi. I'm good. How are you? Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, I'm great. I mean, it's been a interesting couple of months. We had the crash, and now we're kind of bouncing back. What do you think about this?
No, I think that's phenomenal. So I think with Luna going down, a lot of people were disappointed and also disheartened what will happen to the crypto ecosystem. But some of us, at least people in our team, we have been believers in the space, and especially gaming. We feel that gaming is where crypto becomes truly mass market. So good to see the crypto market going up, and we believe that it is going to be the trend that will continue. And with the ETH merge finally coming up, I think the signs are all positive for the coming few months.
Yeah, ETH merge. Ooh, finally. I mean, I've been following Vitalik for so long, and I mean, just listening to him when he first started talking about it. Now it's finally happening, and yeah, super
Yeah,
excited.
same here.
So
Yeah.
yeah, So do you want to just give a quick intro to our community and just explain what you do and what your project's all about?
Sure. So I am a second time founder. I had built one company earlier and sold it to OLX. So currently, and after that, I thought about starting something in Web3. So I think I'm in general fascinated by the idea of entire decentralization and giving the power back to the users, right? So that had been the main motivation. And we felt that gaming is an area that can truly take crypto and make crypto mass market. So that has been the driving force, and that is something which excited us. We are a young team based out of India, and we felt that can we essentially build something which is at the intersection of crypto markets and gaming. So we thought about gamifying the crypto markets, and that is what the origin of One World Nation looks like. So we said that you have crypto markets and you have something called NFTs. Can you personify the cryptocurrencies so that like BTC has a clan of NFTs or Ethereum has a clan of NFTs, and these clans they compete with each other in games that represent financial markets. So in this light, the first game that we ended up building is a crypto fantasy, which is largely a crossover between if Sorare was to meet crypto markets, what essentially it would look like. Can you create your own team of five cryptocurrencies and basically build a strategy around what is the right team that will help you win in the volatile crypto markets? So that's the core from which we started from. And that's essentially what we are set out to build.
Wow, such a small team, such a great project. So yeah, is your company backed, and what's your vision for the long run?
So we ended up doing a small private seed round few months back, around in the month of March actually. We raised $2 million from Better Capital. So Better Capital has backed about 50 odd ventures in the crypto ecosystem. Polygon Studios is an investor, IndiGG is an investor, and they're prominent folks from the Web3 ecosystem who are investors and advisors. The intent with this raise was essentially to build out the NFTs, to build out the gaming platform, and build out the initial community, and then eventually go for a public sale where the members in the community become the token holders and they start getting a big piece of governance on the platform. So when we started out, there were a couple of things that we wanted to solve. One, can we build an ecosystem that a lot not a lot, but everyone in the crypto ecosystem can call it a home. So there are people who are just fascinated about the crypto markets, but when you're operating in DeFi or when you're operating in trading, it just looks very serious and it just looks very, I mean, at times it is also scary because of a lot of fun. And we felt that is there a platform that we can build that gamifies this entire experience? So that remains the core of what we intend to do in the long run. The second value proposition was we felt that a lot of games were not really friendly from a user experience standpoint. We also tried playing a lot of games about 4 or 5 months back, and we felt that the entire experience is suboptimal. And that became one of the other core theses around which we wanted to work, which is still a fundamental piece around which we are working. And the third thing was, how do you build a sustainable economy? So, not really build something where either the NFT economy implodes or explodes, or probably the token economy implodes or explodes. And it essentially ends up becoming a format where the early incoming members make a lot of money, but then the ecosystem is just sustaining on the basis of new incoming members on the platform. So typically, what a lot of people in the Web2 ecosystem call a Ponzi scheme. So sustainability of the economy is the third core pillar on which we are trying to build the platform, and that's also like a goal for the long run. So there are a few metrics in mind that we have, and based on those metrics, we'll essentially decide when is the right time to go for the public sale. But effectively building a decentralized sustainable economy in a Web3 setup is what we are trying to achieve for the long run.
Wow, that's so amazing. I mean, there's so many P2E games out there. What makes crypto fantasy different?
So I think there are few items that we have been thinking about, based on which we feel that it can bring in a lot of difference and a lot of excitement around, uh, like how people generally look at play to earn games. So one is the entire mindset and the target audience. So if you look at a lot of P2E games, then a lot of games have a format where you need to invest a considerable amount of time to continue to make a small amount of money. Well, we actually wanted to build games around strategy. So if you look at how crypto fantasy works, you would probably invest like about 15 to 20 minutes a day. And you really need to think about how to create a winning team or how to create a winning combination. And if you create the right team, then you have a chance to win really, really big. And that really big is like you can make probably around $350 in a day by spending just 15 minutes of your time on the platform. So strategy is one of the core pillars which is there on the platform. The second thing is I think a lot of P2E games are actually anchored around giving rewards and native tokens or some other Web3 token, which is linked to the project itself. And we decided to actually not do that till the platform becomes really large. So all rewards on the platform are essentially given out in USDC. And the reasoning that we had for it was people should actually get rewards in stable coins and not really get rewards in coins whose value is one, not known, and second, the value can tank very, very quickly, right? So then that's an issue. So we wanted to give out real rewards to people who are actually participating in the game economy. And I think that creates a considerable amount of difference. The third thing is as the platform scales, if you just look at crypto fantasy as one of the games, uh, as the platform scales, the number of users increase, the winning prize can be huge. So we have in mind that if the crypto fantasy becomes really large, we want to give $100,000 to the top winner, right? And probably this is not the kind of rewards which exist in P2E right now. I would hope that other games will also start moving onto some format where we are able to give out such large rewards. But I think just the sheer quantum of rewards that the platform aspires to achieve will become a huge differentiator as we go ahead.
Yeah, that's it's great to know. So it looks like you're gonna start sharing your screen, and I'd love to see, your platform and the gameplay.
Sure, 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 sure. Can you see my screen?
Yep, I can see your screen.
So this is what the platform looks like. And when a user registers, then this is the dashboard where he lands. And there are few critical elements over here. This is the wallet that he has, and he has an option to play crypto fantasy. He can participate in breeding. There is a raffle on the platform, and there is a marketplace that we have built especially on the platform. And the marketplace will enable you to do a bunch of activities that I will cover. But let's start from the wallet. So this is what the wallet essentially looks like, and these cute looking creatures are the NFTs on the platform. So each NFT is a personification of a cryptocurrency. So for example, if you look at this one, then this is Aave 268. It is a common NFT of the Aave clan, right? So you have different sort of rarities, and the rarities actually define the power levels. And the four rarities are common, epic, rare, and legendary. I don't have any legendary with me, and hence you cannot see that power level. But if I put in a filter of common, then you will see all the common kryptonites or all the common NFTs which I have in my wallet. Uh, and I can put in a filter of rare, and you can see the two rare kryptonites that I have in the wallet. Or I can put in a filter of epic, and this is what the epic kryptonite looks like. So basically, you have kryptonites of different rarities, and higher the rarity, the scarce the item would be, and more powerful the rarity would be in the gameplay. Right? This is how the wallet looks like. So this is the USDC balance that I have in my wallet, and this is a custodial wallet on the platform. And I have an option to simply add funds using my MetaMask, or I can just click over here and withdraw the funds in real time, whatever I want, right? So I can just withdraw the funds. And these are some of the in-game assets. So you have something called an LFG token. So LFG token is an ERC20 token, and it is the breeding token on the platform. You have raffle, and you get raffle tickets based on the ownership on the platform. And you have a concept of gift games. So gift game will allow you to participate in a game without any entry fee. And while most of the breeding tokens are given out in raffle, the user also has an option to buy some of the breeding tokens if he wants. Right? So he can just select here, and he can just click over here and buy some of the breeding tokens if he wants. So this is where the core of the platform starts from, and you can connect your MetaMask or any other wallet, a Trust wallet or any other wallet that is EVM compatible, and you can just get started from here. Then the core. So before I move to the core gameplay, which is fantasy, let me show you the marketplace. And we are actually building a bunch of things over here. So this is the marketplace on the platform, and any user can actually get started with a game absolutely free of cost. So he does not need to own any NFT, although we highly recommend people to do that. But he can just come on the marketplace, and he can borrow the NFT for free. So you can see all the crypto clans, you can see how many NFTs are available for buying, how many are available for borrowing, and you can see the rarity level. So if I click on for borrowing, it will just show me all the NFTs that are available for borrowing, right? And you can see that none of the legendary NFTs are available for borrowing. One epic NFT is available for borrowing, and majority which are available are common, right? And I can also filter on the basis of the clan. And let's say if I want to borrow for the ETH clan, right? So I can do this. I can see all the NFTs which are there on the marketplace. I can click on borrow, and I can see all the information that if I use a borrowed NFT, then my share is 50%, and the lender or the owner of the NFT gets 50%. I can use this NFT for two subsequent games, and once those games are over, it will go back to the marketplace. And I can actually borrow a maximum of 5 NFTs at any point of time. I can just click on confirm borrow, and I have successfully borrowed the NFT. Right? So let's say if I want to borrow another NFT, so let's say I want to borrow a BNB NFT, I can repeat the same, and I can just borrow the NFT. And I also have an option to actually buy the NFT if I want. So I can just put in a filter of buy, and I can sort whichever way I want. And for example, I did low to high in price. And if I want to buy, I'll just click on this, and I can go over here, pay $60 and buy this NFT. And we highly recommend people to actually buy the NFT, because once you buy at least one NFT, you get something called an owner tab. So while anybody can come on the platform and play for free and get the rewards, withdraw the rewards, and so on, owners have a distinct advantage. They get higher rewards and they get more advantage in general in terms of rewards and raffle and other parts of the ecosystem. So we highly recommend people to come over here and buy at least one NFT that will give them the owner tab. Now, once you borrow the NFTs, you can essentially. So let me actually borrow some more NFTs, because I had lent out most of my NFTs. So I don't think I have enough NFTs to create a team. Yeah. No, so I have actually borrowed five. So then I would go over here, which is the main gameplay. So over here, you can see there are two upcoming games. So one game is called League of Legends, and second game is called League of Raids. So in League of Legends, you can use a maximum of one legendary and a maximum of two epic NFTs. And in League of Rares, you can use a maximum of two rare NFTs, and you cannot use any legendary or any epic. So League of Rares, you can only use either rares or you can use common NFTs. While over in League of Legends, you can use any NFT, but you have an option to use one legendary and two epic if you want. So League of Legends, it does not, it effectively has a limit of 1,000 entries at any point of time. League of Raids has a limit of 150 teams, and generally these 150 teams are filled in less than 10 minutes. And the team submission deadline is 2 p.m. IST every day, which would roughly translate into, I think, 8:30 a.m. UTC. And as soon as we open the deadline, within 10 minutes, all the 150 teams get created. And this is a League of Legends where I have an option to create a team. But before I create a team, I have an option to look at the data over here, which is the stats for the game. So I can see which cryptos are there. So currently the system has 12 clans. I can see how they have been performing in the last 24 hours. I can sort this out. Or I have an option to go and view more details where, apart from 24 hour, I can also see what has been the performance 1 hour. I can also see the volatility. So more the volatility, higher the score that you get. So the scoring is on the basis of the token price movement every 15 minutes. The game duration is 15 hours. So basically it starts at 4:30 p.m. UTC every day, and it ends at 7:30 a.m. UTC the next subsequent day. And within this 15-hour window, every 15 minutes we actually take the difference of the token price, multiply it with 10, and we add that to compute the cumulative score. So I'll cover that. But higher the volatility, more is the movement. And typically, people prefer to take higher volatility tokens in the team. Along with that, you can also see what is the percentage, what is the selection percentage, knight percentage, defender percentage. So I'll cover what is knight and defender. But selection percentage is what percentage of, like, so in each team you have five crypto knights, and from this data you can see that Matic has been the most selected one in any team, followed by Aave and then BNB. So you can use this data to effectively help you create a team. And then you can just go here and click on create a team to land on the arena. So this is how the arena looks like. And you have an option to select the crypto knights. And over here you can see a borrowed tag, right? So these are the borrowed NFTs that I took. And some of the NFTs are the ones that I own. And I can just add the NFTs in my team, and I can select five to create a team. So effectively, we want to create a strategy that will essentially give me the highest score. And there are like bunch of strategies that people use. In a falling market, they typically try to make a team of more stable tokens, right? So the team would be heavy in BNB and BTC because they're less volatile and the price movement is generally less. In a going up market, people typically try to select Matic, Aave, Uni, which actually move a lot, right? And once you do that, then you can just choose the power ups. So there are two power ups that we generally provide to everybody. One is called a 2x power up, and which is a knight power up, and one is a defender power up. So the knight will double your score. So whatever score you get, you will get 100% bonus on that score. But the catch over here is if you get a negative score, it will become twice as negative. So you need to be very, very careful over there. What the defender will essentially do is that for each 15-minute slot, it will figure out your score. And if the score is positive, it will use it. And if the score is negative, it will make it zero. So basically, in a falling market, if you use a defender, you essentially get a sum of all positive scores, and your score becomes very, very high. So effectively, what people do is that if you have a high volatility token, they tend to make it a defender. So in this case, what I'll do is I'll make Aave the defender, and I will make BNB my knight, because BNB is generally more stable. And I now currently I anticipate that the market will fall over the next 15 hours, and the score will be negative. So I want to get less negative, and hence my knight is a stable token, relatively stable token, and my defender is a token with high volatility. I have 52 free games in my account, so I do not need to pay the entry fee, and I can just click on this and enter team for free. Right. So once you do that, you can see over here that my team is now created, and I can see the 5 tokens that I've selected. I can click, I can see the composition of the tokens, which are the tokens, what is the level, what is the bonus, and so on. Right. So I selected all common, and all common have the rarity bonus for them is 0. So if you look at one of the previous games, right? So for example, let me look at this game. So this is a game that concluded today, and like, these are the winners. So the top guy, he won $225 plus one free NFT, then $157 and one NFT. So if you look at his team, then he had one legendary NFT, and legendary NFT has a base bonus of 30%, and each level gives an additional bonus of 0.5. So it becomes a total of 32%, right? And the rest were all common. So the base bonus was 0, and they only had level bonus. So this is what the score looked like, and the total was 144. If you look at somebody who came second, then again one legendary and all the rest were common. Then if you look at this guy, then he had one epic. Epic gives you a base bonus of 20%, and rare gives you a base bonus of 10%. Right? So this is essentially how people make the team, and these are the kind of rewards that they generally make. The top three actually make the bulk of the money, and they actually make a lot of money. So I also ended up making about $3.94. My rank was 62. And this is what the second game or League of Rares look like. League of Rares, the rewards relatively lesser. So that's a small league. And over here, you can actually make a team of only. Um, so yeah, and there are different strategies that people typically use to create a team over here. So this is the core game on the platform. And along with this, you have other games that are typically there. So for example, you can come over here and breed. For example, I can add 2 of my NFTs over here and over here. So I already have 11 breeding tokens called LFG tokens. And for this breeding, I need 3 LFG tokens. And the breeding fee is 15 US dollars. So I can just make the payment and start breeding. So for example, if I do this, then it is essentially starting the breeding process. And it has actually submitted the transaction on the blockchain. And now the breeding process started. And I can just go to my wallet. So basically, once the transaction is successfully submitted, there is a breeding egg that gets credited to my wallet. So this is the egg that is there in my wallet, and the reveal will happen after 24 hours. So I can actually come and reveal it tomorrow at like almost the same time, and then the reveal function will become active. And there are like a bunch of logics around it that you can breed different kryptonites, and you can get a kryptonite of a different clan. You have different possibilities and probabilities of getting a higher kryptonite. So I can actually breed 2 common kryptonites and get a legendary kryptonite and so on. And then you can come to the raffle arena. So the raffle happens twice a day. And you get the raffle based on the number of NFTs you hold and based on your participation in the game. And you get raffle tickets, and the draw happens at 3:30 p.m. UTC and 3:30 a.m. UTC every day. So if you look at, there are about 24,000 tickets in the draw right now. I have 91 tickets for the next draw, and these are typically the kind of rewards. So about $872 worth of rewards are given out every draw. So about $1,600 worth of rewards are given out in raffle on a daily basis. And these are the kind of tickets that you would generally see, right? So if I click on unclaimed, and I can just click on this, and for example, this is the reward that I get. So this is like almost this will get credited in your wallet in like 5 minutes. So this is a transaction that happens on the blockchain. So over here you can see that the reward has been credited, and now this reward will also get credited in real time. So people actually make a lot of money via raffle itself. And over here you can see who won the NFT in the last row, right? So you can see all the details, who was the user, what is the NFT, and so on. So yeah, so essentially this is what the platform looks like. And there are like a bunch of other interesting features that are due to come, and like a lot of support things. So for example, you can go over here and look at all the transaction history. So I can look at my raffle winnings. I bred one NFT, so I got one NFT in my wallet. I can look at what were the incoming transactions. I can look at what were the outgoing transactions, and so on. I can look at the NFTs that came into the wallet. So effectively, one NFT I sold on the marketplace, and two I created by breeding. I can look at what is a USDC thing that came into my wallet. So this is all the lenders here, right? So I have about 26 NFTs that I know, and I have put them on the lending marketplace. So this is like my passive income. So somebody else is using my NFTs, and this is a kind of passive income. So I have been using the platform since 27th of June, and I have invested about how much I have invested. So I started by investing about $1,200 on the platform, and so far I have made about $974. And this is excluding the NFTs that I've bred. So I actually ended up breeding about 8 NFTs. So overall, I have invested about $1,500 on the platform, and I have about $945 in cash winnings, and the value of the NFTs is another $400 $500. So very close to about 90% return that I got so far. Uh, so it was 26, and because I bred one NFT recently, just right now, so my number currently is at 27. Yeah, so this is broadly what the platform looks like. We have a very well functioning and good mobile app on Android. iOS we are testing right now, and it should be live by tomorrow on test live, and then it should go live on the main app store in a week's time. The intent is to go completely mobile in some time. So while the web platform will continue to exist, will essentially end up becoming mobile first in probably a week or a couple of weeks.
Wow, that was so in depth. I love it. Uh, it's rare to see co-founders that are also spending on their own platform. I mean, there's every co-founder loves to talk about their game, but to see that you've been earning back some of your investments, it's amazing. So going on to my next question, there's been multiple projects that have been not doing that well in this market. What is your sustainability for keeping your tokens and whatnot up?
Right. I think this was one of the core problems that we actually started with. And what we understood was there are two things that you essentially need to optimize for. One is you need to have a stable NFT economy, and second, you need to have a stable game economy. So, game economy is generally based on the token, and the NFT economy is based on the NFTs. So, let me cover both the points one by one. So, in case of NFT economy, what typically happens is in most of the cases, there is an endless supply of NFTs that can be created. So either the platform can create an endless supply, or people can just breed and create an endless supply of NFTs. So what we felt was that let us take a clue from what happens in the actual crypto market, and let us try to replicate it on the platform. So each crypto clan on the platform is tagged either as a limited clan or as an infinite clan. So, for example, Matic is a limited token in the real crypto market, and the NFT clan on our platform is also limited. While Ethereum is an infinite token, theoretically it's an infinite token on the in the real world, and hence it is an infinite NFT clan on our platform as well. So all limited clans will plateau at about 200,000 NFTs coming onto the platform, and all infinite clans will start having a strong burning mechanism where the NFTs are created, they grow, and they age after a particular level, after which they die and they transform into some other sort of NFTs on the platform. So effectively, we said that why have an endless supply of NFTs? Why can't we just control it and make it a more controlled ecosystem where the supply of NFTs never outrun the demand, right? So that is one. Second thing that we are doing is we are consciously trying to control the supply of NFTs, and we want to ensure that the supply of the NFTs is strongly correlated to the demand on the platform. And the best way to do it is using the breeding token. So Axie also started with a similar ideology, but they actually started using their SLP token as a reward token, which is where a lot of issues started coming in, which is not really the plan that we had. And we essentially want to very, very tightly regulate the demand and supply of NFTs on the platform. And that is how like all economies effectively become stable. The second problem that we essentially saw, which is on the token economy side or the game economy side, I think projects generally rush into the hurry of releasing their own token because they can effectively use their token as marketing currency, and they can use that to attract a lot more people into the ecosystem faster. So while that is beneficial in building a community faster and attracting a lot of people faster, the issue really is that if you do not build enough utility on the token, the supply of the token outruns the demand of the token. So basically, to put it simply, there aren't enough buyers for the token, which means that it becomes very, very difficult to actually sustain the price of the token in the market. And that's how most of the economies crash. Which is why we took a conscious call of not releasing the token right now. Have all game rewards being given out in stablecoin, which is USDC, uh, grow the platform, build enough utility on the platform, scale the platform, and at some point of time when we feel that the utility is enough, then release the token slowly and like start transferring the utility on the token. So, to put it in a nutshell, we would essentially do the way Binance ended up releasing the BNB token, where there is significant utility on the token before the token is actually released, as compared to trying to like release the token as a hype machine and just trying to so basically trying to put the cart before the horse, which is not effectively what we want to do. We want to build a real project where there is a real community and there is enough utility on the token, at which point of time the token will actually come out. Otherwise, honestly, I don't see any way in which the token economy will not implode.
Yeah. So the last question of the night for me, and bringing it on to Discord. I hope everyone else that's listening starts asking questions because we have so many prizes today. But the last question of my night is, what is your future roadmap? Um, are there going to be any new games, new products, releases? Yeah.
Sure. So I think that's a fantastic question, right? Because we are like a very, very new project. We released on 27th of June, and there is a lot in store that we have for the community and the game players. So currently we have one game which is live, and like the immediate objective that we are working on is how do you move mobile first. We're there on Android, we're coming on iOS in a couple of days, and so on. The second objective that we have right now is how do we make the platform more affordable for everybody? So, like every other NFT based game, this is guarded by the NFTs. So, while you can come and play absolutely for free, but the advantages improve significantly if you buy at least one NFT. But we realize that not everybody would be okay to like buy an NFT or would have that kind of a disposable income. So one of the things that we're working on right now is called Buy Now Pay Later, which is a first of a kind setup which is there in Web3 gaming. And it is truly at the confluence of what DeFi and gaming looks like. So what we are telling to our users is that hey, why do you need to pay like $99 to buy an NFT? Can you just get started with a down payment of $19, and the rest you can pay over a period of time by the game earnings that you make on the platform? So this is the main thing that we would be launching in a couple of weeks, and the objective is how do you make the platform more affordable for everybody. The next thing which is there in the pipeline is building a prediction game, which would be a more of a casual, hyper casual game where you can just use one NFT and enter into a pot and predict whether the token price will go up or down in the next 5 minutes. Um, and there would be like different kind of pots which would be there on the platform. And then there are a bunch of casual, hyper casual games that are planned out. So one is a Kryptonite racing game, which would be a crossover of what a Zedrun looks like and what a crypto market looks like. So a bunch of intrinsic properties that will come via the Kryptonite, and a bunch of data that will come from the crypto markets that will determine the outcome of the race. Then there is one game, then basically Ludo, that we are actually planning. So imagine a Ludo where the peg is actually replaced by a kryptonite. And based on what kind of kryptonite you have, you will get two unique powers within the game of Ludo. Right. So essentially, we are saying that can we take a casual game like Ludo, which is very popular and very, very well known, and implement a layer of kryptonite NFTs on top of it? So that's also part of the pipeline. And then there is Flappy Nights, which is there in the pipeline, which will be an adaptation of Flappy Birds. So each of our kryptonites has wings, and based on the kind of wings they have and the body structure that they will have unique power in terms of flying in the Flappy Bird arena. And based on that, they can earn tokens, they can earn rewards, etc., etc. So essentially planning to release one game every 2 months starting from October. So this on the game pipeline side. And along with this, we are also planning to release one new token every month. And this will be based on the community vote. Right? So the community can vote which is a new Kryptonite clan that they want, how do they want it, and with particular reasoning, right? So they might actually want to have, I don't know, maybe Mana token, AXS token, YGG token, etc. That to be the next plan on the platform. So that will be another thing that will happen effectively on the platform. Yeah, so that's largely, I'll say, the roadmap for the next 6 to 8 months. And post that, we'll let the community decide what is our direction the project should take.
Great. Let's take it over to the AMA discussion where there's so many good questions. It's probably going to take you a few minutes to read them. But maybe I'll start with one. Wow, there's so many good questions. Uh, Actually, why don't you start looking at the questions? I'll let everyone know about the prizes. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
missed
there's
that. Yeah.
all right. So tonight we're going to be giving out 8 prizes. Everyone that's going to win is going to get early access to the game. There's going to be 6 people winning 2 LFG, which is worth $15 or 15 USDT, USDC, and then 2 people will be winning NFTs. So let's see who's got the best question. Dinesh, do you want to give the last 2 people the chance to win NFTs, or do you want to choose 8 questions and pick from the 8?
Hey, I leave it on to you. So I think you would
Oh,
be the best judge of the community, and I think you would be the best person to take that call.
oh. I would love to choose the questions, but my community also knows that I usually choose the most active people. So if you could choose, not that many people would, I guess.
Sure. I missed your last statement.
Excuse me?
So I missed the last sentence that you said.
Oh, I was just saying how the community might hate me because I usually tend to choose the that are the most active.
Got it.
So maybe you can just read off the username, and then I can I'll be reading the question.
You want me to read the username?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So what Chrislyn at copy and pasted in the private in the chat.
Sure, sure, sure. So I think it is Sohai Hino, and yeah, you can probably read the question.
Yeah. So Gino asked,
Yeah.
what are the ways that generate profits, revenues to maintain this project, and what is the revenue model? How can it make us benefit win-win for the investor and your project?
Sure, I think it's a great question, and this is like one of the more prominent questions which is out there for all Web3 games. Um, so one of the things is the platform is designed as a mix of win to earn and play to earn. It is not purely play to earn because we feel that purely play to earn would essentially mean that you have a lot more people who are just playing with an objective to make money without trying to win something, or probably without trying to maybe enjoy the games on the platform. So while a lot of games on the platform are free, there would be like about 50 to 60% on the of the games on the platform that the users will need to pay to play. So this becomes the first sort of revenue model that we have on the platform. The second that we feel that a lot of play to earn games are not able to use very effectively is to introduce other projects on the platform, and have collaborations where other projects are also okay to advertise to the audience on the platform and roll out rewards on the platform, sponsor some of the rewards on the platform. And there are a bunch of interesting partnerships that we're exploring right now, both from like crypto companies in India, crypto companies in Southeast Asia, some crypto companies in Europe, etc. So that becomes a second source of revenue. The third source of revenue is essentially to build multiple utilities on the platform, and not just really breeding, right? So if you look at breeding, so breeding is just one of the utilities on the platform, but giving an option to the users to, for example, name their kryptonite, for example, add custom accessories on top of the NFTs, or for example, place an additional amount of money to get a chance to double their winnings, irrespective of whatever position that they land on, right? So this effectively becomes like another source of revenue on the platform. And there are like a bunch of other things that we have in mind. But what essentially we want to achieve is that the platform creates a revenue, and then that revenue is distributed back to the NFT holders and the token holders.
Great. Our next question is by Thebolt. So many projects just like to speak about the long term vision and mission, but what are your short term objectives? What are you focusing right now?
Sure. I think again a great question. So, a couple of things that I've learned in my journey so far. So, I think one of the good things that we have been able to do as an engineering team, we have actually shipped things that we said we will ship. right? So we are like a fairly young project, less than 2 months out in the market. We launched on 27th of June. And in this time, we ended up releasing Crypto Fantasy, Breeding, Raffle, a marketplace with borrowing and lending. And we ended up releasing the buy sell on the platform. We ended up releasing two mobile apps, and now we are moving towards buy now, pay later. So I think one of the great things about our team is we actually have the power to ship. We are actually able to deliver things that the community needs. Currently, the major objective that we are working on right now is how do you make the platform more affordable for everybody? And the target in our head was that how do you ensure that any user can buy three NFTs for less than $100? And that became the genesis of something called Buy Now Pay Later, which will go live in a couple of weeks. And this will essentially mean that a lot more people can enjoy the benefits of being owners on the platform and the ownership tag. So this is like the core thing which is there that I have right now. The second thing that is there on my plate is how do we take the project to a lot more people? So we initially released in India. So we built in India, we released in India, and we actually got a phenomenal response. And we were able to create a list of about 15,000 people in the wait list without spending any marketing dollar on it. We decided to actually limit access to about 1,200 to 1,500 people only. And now we have decided to focus on other geographies as we slowly release the people from the waitlist as well. So we will slowly release the people who are in the waitlist, which is largely an Indian audience. But we are also now aggressively looking at Philippines as a market, Vietnam as a market, and Indonesia as a market. The key reason being people over there have a lot more know-how of play to earn, and that's a market we want to target. So these are the two things that are on my plate right now, which are also the project objectives for the time being.
Great. Our next question is by Cozy Maria. Marketing is a central element for every project so that everyone knows the potential that a project can bring in vital to achieve the goal set. What is your strategy to attract new users and investors to your platform and keep them long term?
Sure. Again, a great question. I think it is a fantastic community. I haven't seen so many high quality questions coming in any of my prior EMAs. So I think marketing is effectively key, and I'll not really say marketing. Rather, I'll say distribution is key for any giving platform. And there are a bunch of things which are already there in the pipeline. So the key focus area would be how do you leverage the existing community to actually attract more people, right? So the existing community will start getting invite tokens, and they will be able to invite more people from their circle into the platform. Then there would be effort on the influencer marketing side, which is already underway. There are multiple partnerships that we are doing, and such partnerships are with various guilds, other play to earn projects, some DeFi projects, some investor groups, some alpha groups, etc., which are there in the pipeline. And apart from this, there are like a bunch of things on the content strategy. So I think we have built a great platform in terms of being able to disseminate content in terms of the crypto markets, how to build strategies around the crypto markets, and so on. So creating valuable content and distributing across various channels is another big strategy. A month and a half from now is when the PR strategy will start. This is where we'll start going to the larger PR channels, like a CoinDesk, a Coin Telegraph kind of tech crunch kind of a setup. So that's also part of the pipeline. And yeah, and like all this put together with this in mind, the objective would be to take the community to about 100,000 users in about 6 months from now.
Great. So our next question is by Sohai Lexus. How can we assure that the layer of security of this platform is well? Have you guys have your contracts audited? And are you fully confident that the platform is completely functional and can be used for mainstream adoption?
Got it. So, great question again. So, the contracts are not audited right now. but there are a couple of auditing firms that we are in conversation with, and probably we'll finalize one of them to audit the contracts and make any changes which are needed. The platform is largely functional, and I'll not say it is fully functional. I'm aware that there are some glitches at few places on the platform, and that like those glitches are being fixed by the engineering team on a regular basis. And the intent would be that the glitches are kept to a minimum, which should be like less than 5% of all the functionality on the platform. But I think the platform is ready for mainstream adoption, at least to sustain something like 10 to 15,000 concurrent users right now.
Great. Our next question is by Sohai Zol. May we know the advantages and benefits of lucky breeding?
Right. So great question. So there are actually two things that happen. There are two like surprises that can happen when you're actually breeding your kryptonites. So one is something called a twin generation or a twin creation. You can breed two kryptonites and randomly, instead of getting one NFT, you can get two NFTs. So this happens randomly, and if that happens, then of course you're very very lucky because you get two identical twins as part of breeding. The second thing is lucky breeding. So if you look at the NFTs and if you look at the body part of the NFTs, each NFT has six body parts, and like the legendary ones also have an armor. And each of the body part has some level of rarity. So each body part can have seven variations, and six of the variations are common, and one is a rare variation. A lucky breed will have one a higher rarity compared to what it should have. So, for example, let us say you breed two common NFTs and the outcome should have been a common NFT. Then the outcome for you will essentially be a rare and not a common. Or if it should have been an epic NFT, then the outcome will become a legendary NFT. The second thing is that in the body parts, you will get a lot more rarer body parts as compared to what a normal breeding would essentially give you. And like you will not really find utility of these body parts right now, but as the platform evolves and there are more games on the platform, so for example, body parts will be very very crucial in Flappy Birds, where the kind of wings that you have and the kind of body structure that you have will define your flight velocity. Or body parts will be very critical in the game of Ludo, because based on the body parts you will get some special powers on the platform. So yeah, so basically you get a better NFT with rarer and stronger body parts as part of lucky breeding.
Great. Our next question is by So Crew. What would be the strategies to attract new non crypto users? How much would the initial investment be for these new users? Will it have any restrictions or will it be easily accessible to new users at your investment level?
Um, Great. So I think there are three questions in this, and let me answer each one of them independently. So non-crypto users, our pitch is effectively that maybe you're not ready to enter the crypto ecosystem because of a lot of FUD, and maybe you're scared because you have heard stories that if you invest, then you essentially can lose a lot of money. So here is a platform that can give you access to be a part of the crypto ecosystem for zero cost. So you come and you join the platform, you get gift games, you can borrow the assets, and you can essentially learn about the crypto ecosystem for free. And a lot of users who are there in the community, they have actually benefited a lot, right? So I know of one particular user, and I spoke with him, and he always wanted to get into crypto, but was afraid of getting into crypto. And eventually he came onto the platform, became a part of the ecosystem, and now he owns about 13 NFTs on the platform. And he tells me that he has learned about every single project after he became a part of the platform. So the strategy for the non-crypto users is that here is an incubating space that you can be a part of to essentially learn about crypto in a safe environment. And picking up the second question, any user can effectively come and start playing the game for free. He can just come and buy five, like borrow five NFTs from the marketplace, create a team and start playing for free. However, the advantages of being an owner are significantly high. So we actually push everybody to buy at least one NFT to become an owner so that they can actually get access to higher rewards. Currently, the lowest price to buy the NFT is about $60 on the platform, and that number will change to about $19 in a couple of weeks. So $19 will become the down payment for becoming an owner on the platform, and the rest of the money will go out in terms of game rewards. Barrier to entry will go down significantly. The barrier to entry is technically zero, but the barrier to become an NFT owner will just become $19. And I think that's a good value proposition looking at what else others are doing in the market.
Great. Our next question is by Wolfie. He asks, ambassadors play a very important role in every project. Do you have an ambassador program? If yes, how can I be one?
So we have an ambassador program. We actually call it an affiliate program. And if you go to our website and if you go in the footer, you will see a link of an affiliate program. You can just click on that affiliate link. And on that page, you can connect your MetaMask. And once you connect your MetaMask, you will get a custom link that is unique to you. And you can start sharing it with people in your community. If anybody uses that link to mint some of the NFTs on our platform, we share the reward with you. Typically, that reward is like 5 to 10% of whatever is the platform sale. And the affiliate program will keep on expanding. So currently, it rewards only for NFT minting. And as we move ahead, it will also start rewarding for new user acquisition, new game players, etc. But effectively, go and check the affiliate program link in our footer. And that's the starting point to become an ambassador for the platform.
Great. And our last question of the night um, is by Sohai Ming. In most P2E games, players earn a lot in the beginning, but the amount of rewards, wins, decrease as new players join the game. Therefore, gamers are consistently turning to new platforms. How will you prevent players from leaving?
So I think it's again a great question. It raises some of the questions which are there on P2E games and Web3 gaming in general. So there are two things that I would like to highlight. So the rewards go down and the players start leaving because the platforms do not really have any effective way of making revenue, right? So what they essentially do is they try to sell the NFTs and then they start giving that money back to the users in terms of the rewards without having any like specific revenue model, which can be a continuous revenue model. So that's not really the structure that we have, and we are focusing on like a standard revenue model. So the way to look at the platform is if a real money gaming platform merges with the concept of Web3 gaming or NFTs, what would the platform look like? So in India, you have platforms like Dream 11, MPL, Vinzo, Zoopy, etc. And they're generally sustainable, right? Because they're not really trying to create value out of thin air. Rather, they're trying to take the money and try to redistribute a lot of this reward. Second, a lot of these platforms do not try to leverage the power of the community, which can be used in multiple ways sponsorships, rewards, branding, etc. That can feed to become another revenue stream into the platform. Third, the ecosystem generally remains closed, because of which I think a lot of new projects are not able to develop on top of the platform, which is something that we want to avoid. Um, and essentially, we want to have an ecosystem where a lot of other projects can build on top of the platform. That becomes another revenue stream. So I think as long as the goal of the project is clear, that there has to be enough revenue on the platform on a continuous sustainable basis, I think the platform would be able to roll out continuous rewards to its users. And that will motivate the players to continue to stick on the platform.
Great. So, Dinesh, please choose your top two questions.
Right. So very, very difficult. I think all of these questions have been fantastic questions. But let me just see, and let me give me 1 second. I'll just try to. Right. So I think I really like this question by Cozy around the marketing piece. So I think I'll pick up that as one of the questions. So that has been a great question. Um, and and I'll pick up this second question by Sokru. What are the strategies to attract new non-crypto users? So I think that's also a great question.
So the first was what was the username?
So one is Sokru,
Yep, and the other one is
other one is Cozy Marie.
Cozy Marie. All right, great. So that's the end of our AMA. Thank you so much, Dinesh, for coming on and speaking about your project. I'm pretty sure the community loves to hear about new projects and whatnot. So, from the community and I, thank you for coming on.
Thanks a lot for having me. Would love to see a lot of people from YGG SEA community join the game and try out the game. There are amazing rewards that we're giving out in stable coins. Would love to have you people as part of it.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
There you guys have it. Another AMA. This is something that we're starting on is bringing in new projects that the team thinks there's possibilities that we can partner up with. As always, this is not financial advice. This is just for you guys to learn more about new projects and to ask great questions. We'll have another AMA with our co founder, Irene, which is happening tomorrow. Follow the announcements on Discord or follow our Twitter. So, there you guys have it. Stay safe, and we are C.